Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How are we doing? Morning, Faisal. How are you? Right. Let's carry on with our putty tat. I just need to sharpen this pencil. Perhaps I should have done this before the start of the stream. There we go. Right. Now, where were we? Doing this section. How are we doing on this fine Tuesday? Tuesday, right? I'm so getting bad with the days of the week at the moment. Morning, Jamie. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Right, soft brown to start this off with, I think. I've got my eldest brother coming to visit me this afternoon, so he's coming over. I haven't seen him since he went away to France and I looked after his cats for him. So he's popping over. We'll have a nice little chat. Got some family history stuff we want to get sorted out because Nick's been doing, he does Ancestry, where you can look into, where you look into your family history and you sort of try and build the family tree and everything. And yeah, we've been finding out some things. I'm gonna have a chat with David and see what he knows. Be interesting. Right, now I need the darker. Let me just think, where does this... Let's stick in some of this red because that was working quite well. Um, any artists in my family? Con artists, maybe, but no artists that I know of, no. Definitely no chess grandmasters. No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately, no. Nothing as interesting as that. Oh, dropped it. I mean, we found some interesting things, I must admit. My real granddad on my dad's side, we never really knew because he had a stepdad. We knew the stepdad who I used to call granddad, but his own dad sort of walked out on the family when my dad was about 3 or 4 or something, and sort of never kept in touch. And so we never really knew much about him, and we didn't know what he looked like or anything like that. There was no photos, there was nothing, people didn't talk about him, stuff like that. And we found out the reason why. The only picture we have of my real granddad on my dad's side is the picture of him being admitted into Dartmoor prison. And it's a photo. He looks like Al Capone. He's got the hat on, he's got the pinstripe suit, and he's literally standing there holding that board of numbers that they take for your mugshot. And that's the only picture we have of my real granddad. And yeah, he was a bit of a thief. The newspaper articles that we found about him showed that he used to break into people's houses, and he would steal. They were always out of the house. There was never anyone in the house when he broke in. Not that that's any no excuse or anything, but he took things that today you'd be like, seriously, you couldn't have picked up something a bit better than that. He would pick up like little tiny bits of jewelry that he'd find, any sort of random cash that was lying around on the surfaces. He would maybe take a watch. He'd been known to take a couple of items of clothing. He would take people's clothing. Ties with the mafia, so it's safer just to subscribe. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know the right people. Yeah, all the right people are just one phone call away. No. We actually found out, which was really weird, was that this real granddad, his name was William, so I'll say that, William. He actually ended up living just a few streets away from his children, and yet his children never knew. They never knew that he was that close. And I just find that really, really sad, because I know my dad always wondered about his dad. He had no idea if his dad was alive or dead. And it turned out his dad died in like 88 or 89, something like that. So he lived a long life. So he was around. They could have had the contact, but he never knew. And his dad never reached out, or as far as we know, he never reached out. So just stuff like that. I'm just going to have a little chat with David and see what he knows about it, because David's 9 years older than I am. So I'm just wondering if he's got any memories that might be pertinent and help out with what I remember. Yeah, it is sad, but I mean, it's the family history stuff that Nick's been finding out, especially on my side of the family, has been really, really interesting. I think we've managed to track my family now, or at least one line of the family, back to about the 1600s. So he's put in a lot of hours in it. He's put in a lot of hours in it, Nick. He loves doing all that stuff. He loves researching. He loves sort of tracking down and solving the mystery, so to speak. I mean, there's a murder in my family. But I mean, that's not something that we found out in Ancestry. It was something I grew up knowing about. My mother's cousin, I think her name was, she fell in love with a bit of a wrong'un, and he murdered her. He rolled her body up in a carpet. Sorry if this is TMI to some people, but he rolled her up in a carpet and tried to dispose of her body, but he was found, and he managed to escape. He managed to sort of evade the police, and there was a manhunt for him. This was back in 1944, so while the war was going on, and there was a manhunt for him, and he was eventually caught, and he was one of the last men in England to be hanged for his crime. So yeah, I grew up knowing that. Grew up knowing that. God, what is wrong with my words today? Yeah, lovely story while you're eating. I didn't give you any of the gory details. I know the gory details, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I do have one last fact about that case, which is really gory. But I'll only share it if you all really, really want to hear something gory. You can let me know. I was watching a clip. When I came back, they rolled her up in a carpet. Okay, right. So there was a murder in my family, Jamie. My mother's cousin fell in love with this guy, and he ended up murdering her. And he tried to dispose of her body by rolling her up in a carpet and, getting it into his vehicle and disposing of her somewhere. But he was caught, and then he managed to evade the police somehow, and there was a manhunt in 1944, and he got hanged. He was found guilty and hanged for his crime. There you go. And I was saying there's one last gory fact about the story. If you want to hear it, I will tell you the really gory fact about that case. But I won't share it if people don't want to hear that. You're finished eating, so you're good. Okay. Oh, you're down. All right, okay. So he was one of the last guys hanged for the crime, okay? And this is obviously while the war was on, so it's like 1944, the war was on, and they didn't have anywhere to dispose of his body properly for some reason, and so they kept it for a little while before they found a place where they could have the body sent for it to be like buried and stuff. And when they transported the body, they put it obviously in a coffin on the back of a truck, sort of thing. And apparently there was this big storm. I don't know what that's got to do with the story, but there was a big storm at the time, and his body had been decomposing for quite a while, and parts of him exploded in the coffin. Because I don't know who opened up the coffin to find this out, but this is what I've been told. He exploded in the coffin, or parts of him, where the gases and the bacteria had all sort of built up, and where he was decomposing, and he just went bang. I think his leg exploded, and his belly, I'm told. So there you go, at 9:15 in the morning. Blood and guts, but I mean, I love all that sort of detail. So she was 18 when she was murdered, so she was really, really young. She sort of ran off with him because she believed she was in love, and, no one liked him in the family. Everyone was like, you're making a mistake, don't go with this guy. But she was very much in love. And so she did go, and it ended up being the death of her, which was a real shame. No, you don't need that, no. But the whole thing about, her name was Vera, I don't know if I've already said that, and she was obviously my mother's cousin, and she was 18 when she died. And when my mum was 18, two men tried to rape her on a beach, and she managed to sort of get away. And my cousin Trina was stalked when she was 18 by the person who murdered another girl. And when I was 18, someone tried to abduct me on the way to work, as I think I've mentioned to you before. So it sort of put into the family history this idea that when girls reach the age of 18 in our family, we're all in mortal danger. So I can remember saying to Becca when she was 18, right, you're not going out, we're going to take you to school, you're not doing anything. It was just like, nothing is happening to Becca. But and obviously nothing did happen to Becca. And she does not have a scary story of when she turned 18, so that's really, really good. And there we go. So we put paid to the curse. Put paid to the family curse. No wonder Becca doesn't go out. Well, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it did make you paranoid. It really did make me paranoid, because I was like, it's just happenstance. It's just coincidence that these things all happened when everyone was 18, and it's just like, nothing's going to happen to Becca. But there was still that superstitious thought in my mind of, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? So, yes. But anyway, that's all over with now. My God, I dumped a whole load of family history on you all then, didn't I? I'm sorry. Sometimes I just start talking. Well, exactly. Yeah, nothing is off topic, Jamie. Right, now, how do I want to do this? Let's just put a little bit more ivory down, I think. But if you can't discuss murder and violence at 9:30 in the morning, when can you, Come for relaxed, chilled vibes, and I talk about violent crime. Gives you a little bit of variety, I guess. Oh, of course, yes. You went to see Saw. So was it good? Was it as good as the others, or was it very much the same? Did it add something new? Right, so let me have a look of how I want to do this next bit. I think, let's get that burnt sienna out for sure. Oh, you really liked it. Oh, good. So it's worth, if you're a fan of the franchise, it's worth seeing, yeah? That's good. Because Saw has some pretty gruesome ways of offing people, doesn't he? I mean, he's not short on ideas, shall we say? Right. That bit. So this bit is okay. So sort of. Is that why you left James's chat and Natalie was on smoke about you not typing? She was asking you about something and you didn't reply. Oh, okay. I managed to catch a little bit of James's stream yesterday. I think I saw the first sort of match that he did on Valo with those American guys that, to be fair, I thought were really funny, and like a little hype men team. Right, I just want to... Where's the... No, I think if I use the white, just to sort of soften this edge. Just blend those colours together. That's better. How often do I think about the Roman Empire? I don't. I don't think about the Roman Empire because I have a different mental load to Nick. I'm thinking about a lot of other things. Though after James came down and asked Nick that question last night, I remembered thinking to myself, oh, I do think about X, Y, Z. And I can remember thinking that's connected to the Roman Empire, but now I can't remember what that was this morning. So I don't think I actually think about the Roman Empire itself. No. Though when Nick said he thought about it every day, I was like, seriously? You're following the TikTok trend then of all these other guys I think that women just tend to think of other stuff. We're always 5 or 6 steps ahead. We're always like, okay, well, we need to do this for dinner. We need to pick that up because we've run out of stuff. We need to put the laundry on. We need to do this. Must remember it's so-and-so's birthday next week. Must remember to book this appointment. Must remember to do this. Oh, I need to put this on. I need to do this. I need to think about the dog getting its toenails clipped or whatever. There's just loads of crap that marinates itself away in our head because we carry the mental load of the family. Because we've already discussed before how men don't remember birthdays or anniversaries and things like that. They don't have details. They don't think, oh, I must remember to ask about my friend. I must remember to ask how their baby is. I must remember to see how their mum is. She wasn't very well. And, oh, when I meet up with so-and-so, I must do... You just have this constant voice in your head. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for all womankind. They've not made me their spokesperson. But that's what it's like for me. I'm just like... I mean, as I'm sitting here doing this, I'm also thinking, David's coming this afternoon. I must put this out because I must get the good coffee out because I know he likes this particular brand of coffee, and I must try and think what we're going to do with the dog because the dog barks non-stop when he gets here, and I must do this and I must do that, and I must make sure the downstairs bathroom smells nice and put the Yankee candle on before he gets here, and all this crap. So in short, no, I don't think about the Roman Empire. There's not a passing second where I don't think about the British Empire. I try and devote as little time as possible thinking about the British Empire and the people that are in charge of our British Empire. I try to stay away from thinking about them as much as I possibly can, quite frankly. I find myself thinking a lot about plot and story because I know I've always got to come up with something new, so I'm always thinking of different turns and twists that I can add, different conflicts that I can use. I'm always thinking of the things that I want to draw or the things I'd love to achieve. But I wish I could remember what that thing was that I thought last night was connected to the Roman Empire but wasn't quite the Roman Empire. What the hell was that? Should chat tell you all our birthdays so you have more things to remember? Absolutely, yes. Tell me your birthdays because that's the kind of stuff that I like to know. Right, so we have this like little mark. What do you mean yours is either the 25th or the 26th of May? I mean, were you born on like midnight or something? It's not enough detail for me, Jamie. I need exact details. Seriously? Seriously? How do you not know your own birthday? I mean, when people ask you for your date of birth, like when you go to the doctors and stuff, don't you just rattle it off without even thinking about it? The 26th. Are you sure, Jamie? Are you sure? Of course I want to know. Right, and I'm writing it down. Jamie, 26th of May. Ish. Should I put ish? Faisal, 18th of March. Okie doke. You had it wrong in your Instagram username. Oh my god. See, guys just don't know birthdays. I mean, even the other day, I remember saying to James, we were testing him on the date. Did he know the actual date? And then we got onto birthdays, and I said, when's my birthday, James? Bearing in mind, he's been in my life for 24 years. And he said, January? Is it January? How do you not know? I know all of my loved ones' birthdays. I know their wedding anniversaries. I just don't understand how people don't know dates. Right, need a bit of grey. Becca's is the 13th of November. Well done for remembering Becca's and Jared's. His Mother's Day. Oh my god. You guys. Oh my god. Ah. So you're just proving my point. I saw a TikTok the other day. It was Sarah Millican. I like Sarah Millican. She's very funny, and she was talking about. She was like, "Oh, I've been with my fella for 10 years, and there's stuff that we agree about, and there's stuff we don't agree about." She said, "There's one thing that I'm aware of is that men have useless information in their brains, whereas women have useful information in their brains." And she'd compiled a quiz. And like the first question was, who is the manager of Aston Villa in May 2005? And a guy in the crowd proves her point by calling out the correct answer. And she was like, there you go, you've just proved my point, you know useless information. But if I were to ask you what is the birthday of your niece's birthday, they just wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. But they've got sport facts listed in their heads. What colour was I looking for? Oh yes. Right, there's a slight bit of purple in this ear. David O'Leary. Yes, exactly. Now you've said it. I remember that was the correct answer. You also don't know your little sister and your niece and nephew's birthday. You see? You see? You're proving her point, you're proving my point. Oh, gosh. Right. You only know your father's because you had to book a flight for him a month ago. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with you all. Right. Now, actually, let me just take this pencil. Right, and I feel the need for speed. I bet you know the movie that's quoted from. It's the sort of useless information you guys will have in your head. Top Gun. There you go. Thank you. See, you can remember a movie quote, but you can't remember your own birthday. See, this should tell you something, Jamie. Right, now up here, like, this is quite dark. Where's that pink gone? Top Gun is more important than your birthday. Okay. What was Tom Cruise's flight name? Without Googling it. Maverick, correct. What was his sidekick's name? His co-pilot. Who sang with him in the bar? No. Iceman was played by Val Kilmer. It was Goose. See, I'm not saying I don't retain rubbish information too. It's just that I remember the important stuff as well. You've lost that love feeling. Got that song in my head now. Oh, that love feeling. You've lost that love feeling, and it's gone, gone, gone. Goose. And Goose's girlfriend, if I remember correctly, was played by Meg Ryan. Need a bit of prune. Exactly. We'd be awesome in a pub quiz. That's why I like pub quizzes. I just feel like I have a knowledge base of random crap and trivia I've accumulated. The stream pub quiz when? Remind me of it as I'm coming up to like my year anniversary, and we'll do something for like a year anniversary. that should be fun. Let me just move this reference photo slightly. Right. Now I feel like I need to go into this nose. If you had to go on Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be? I always used to think that mine would either be I thought you'd say Only Fools and Horses. Mine would be Blackadder Series 2 onwards, or Fawlty Towers. Those would be like my two specialist subjects. I feel like I would do well being asked questions about those. I think my favourite Only Fools and Horses scene is the Triggers Broom one, where he says, I'm sure you know, where he says he's had the same broom, he got a medal because he'd had the same broom for Lord knows how many years. And they're sitting in like a cafe or something, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, you've had the same broom. That's amazing." And he says, "Yeah, but you've got to look after your broom." My dad had a saying, "Look after your broom and your broom looks after you," or something. He says it's had like God knows how many new heads and God knows how many new handles. Everyone just looks at him because Trigger thinks it's the same broom. That is my favourite scene in Only Fools and Horses. Oh, actually, that and hi Natalie, 17 new heads, 14 new handles. There you go. And the later episodes of Only Fools, when Raquel's having the baby, and Del Boy is sort of running in and out the room, giving Rodney an update on what's happening with the birth, and the whole we're going to name him Damien and all that sort of stuff, and you hear the Exorcist music, all that whole scene of Raquel having the baby and Trigger's broom. They're my two favourite scenes from Only Fools. What's your favourite scene from that? Then you must have one, Jamie. There's a little line here. Let's try and get rid of that. Try and keep these layers quite light, and then hopefully the roughness of the paper will show through and give me that that very rough sort of short texture that's on the top of the nose. The day after Grandad's funeral, when Rodney thinks Dell has gotten over it and Dell does that whole speech. One of my favourite scenes in TV history. Do you know, I can't remember that one. So the day after Grandad's funeral. Okay, I will have to Google that and rewatch that bit then. I can't remember that one specifically. Oh, damn. I've just remembered that I was going to do this stream standing up. Which makes no sense to you now. I've just said that completely out of context. I have a standing desk. And I thought, because I do so much sort of sitting down, you know, I write sitting down, I do the art sitting down, and I thought I was going to raise the desk to the standing position and try and do the art while I was standing up, just to sort of not be sat on my backside all the time. Especially like on Friday when we do 2 hours, it's just sitting for 2 hours and it's just like, And I forgot. I will try and remember to do it tomorrow. Because I paid out all this money for one of these snazzy, you know, electric ones that rise up for you. And haven't taken full advantage of it. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, or so they say. So, Natalie, we were just discussing what our specialist subject would be if we had to go on Mastermind. So what would your specialist subject be? Jamie said only Fools and Horses. I said mine would be Blackadder 2 onwards or Fawlty Towers. So what would yours be? It could be anything in the world. It doesn't have to be television comedies. I'm wondering what Nick's would be. Probably the Roman Empire. Or the Crusaders. Not the Crusaders, no, the Knights Templar. Oh my god, is he fascinated by the Knights Templar? So I think he'd probably want to do something along those lines. I'm really pleased with this kitty cat so far. Right, I need this. So now Natalie is here. What's everyone's opinion on the Loki series? Oh, it's rubbish. I think we've said before, they could have done so much with the series on Loki. And they really ballsed up that first series. Mine would be something to do with the history of the Arabian Peninsula, since I've read a lot of books about it. Oh, Excellent. I feel like Faisal just suddenly went really cerebral there. It's Jamie and I talking about British TV comedy shows, and Faisal went the history of the Arabian Peninsula. You love the Loki series. Oh, do you know what? No. I tried. I mean, I haven't even bothered watching the second one. The first one, it was. No. I mean, I'm sure I've said this to you guys before, that Loki is the god of mischief. And we saw what he was like in the Avengers movies, right? He was mischievous and he did the wrong thing. He did the wrong thing sometimes. And, he stabbed his own brother. He, tried to have Earth taken over by the Chitauri. Just so much stuff where he was in the wrong, stabbed that museum guy in the eye. And there's just so much. And yet they did the TV series, and suddenly Loki became this boring character. He wasn't mischievous at all. For some reason, he was incredibly concerned about human lives. He's never been concerned about human lives in his entire life. And they tried to give him a character arc that just didn't work. If I was the writer of Loki Series 1 and I had presented that to my editor, I would have had that script kicked out on its backside, because my editor would have turned to me and said, I'm sorry, that's not how this character thinks. This is not how this character lives his life. I'm sorry, you have not captured this character very well indeed. And yet, for somehow, they created this completely different character arc for Series 1. So I haven't even bothered looking at Series 2, because the trailer looks just as boring as Series 1. So, sorry. Perfect review of the show. Time to take a screenshot of Natalie reply, send it to Amanda. Me and Amanda watched the first season yesterday together just to be ready for season 2. Oh, God. I mean, even like in Series 1, they had that character, I can't even remember his name, played by Owen Wilson. And Owen Wilson is like a naturally funny guy, and yet he plays this boring old guy. And it's just, no. I am not wasting my time. I have got much better things to watch. Where's my sepia gone? There we go. are you saying sorry? My natural response to someone shouting my name is to say sorry. Oh, Jamie, there's a lot of psychology there in that answer. Get your sound alert. I'm intrigued. What sound alert? I'm just going to make this a little bit patchy with some of this darker bit. Right, I just need to add no, I need a lighter grey than that. Let's go for the cold grey. Just pull those colours down into it. James added it yesterday and he was asking you to send yours. Right, I've got to listen to this sound now. Hang on.
You know, it was worth a shot.
It was worth.
Yeah, that is a bit of a weird. That's a very weird sound. Oh dear. I don't even know what he was trying to get from that. There, and that just adds a little shine to the nose. Just add bits around here. Right. Okay. Okie dokie. So, that's where I think I'm going to leave it today. So I managed to get this bit round here done and the nose. Though this still needs some shading. But there we go. That's it for today. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Pleasure as always. And I might quiz you boys at the end of the week to see if you can remember your birthdays. But yes. No, I'm sure that isn't the weirdest sound that James has made on stream. He's made a few. Yes. Okay, alright, so I'm going to leave it there for today then, guys. Have a really great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.